What's up? It's Riccio and Janda here with some division previews as we get ready for the start of the NHL season. And we'll go with the Metropolitan division, Randip. It is, for me, the hardest division to pick, just given that there's a lot of contenders or teams that hope to be in the playoff picture, just one team that's rebuilding.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And isn't it probably, it is the toughest division in hockey. I no discredit to the Central, but the Metro is the one that you look at and say, okay, how many teams are going to make it out of the playoffs and potentially come out of the East? Are all the wild card spots? Like, how do you divvy up the Atlantic and the Metropolitan for the wild card spots? This is a tough division, guys.
Yeah, it is. And right now, the Islanders are seen as the betting favorite. They are plus 375. I like the Islanders a lot. And I look at the Islanders and I say they're for sure in the top three for me. And rounding out my top three is Carolina and the New Jersey Devils. I know that's the bold pick that I've got here, but I look at the Islanders. They're certainly the class of this division, Randip, and Lou Lamoriello. Like, I don't know how this guy does it every year with the wizardry and working the salary cap, but he's done it again. And he is the envy of everybody else around the league, at least every other GM, it seems like.
Lou makes you an offer you can't refuse, and that's the way that Lou Lamoriello has operated for the last couple of years. Uncle Lou from Jersey originally, but okay, I agree with you in the Carolina and the New York Islanders aspect. I think they are very strong teams. They've got some depth, and now all of a sudden you add some balance throughout the lineup. And let's be honest with the Islanders, we expect them to be pretty decent in the regular season, but they're a team that's made for the playoffs as well, so they have that balance. Carolina still has to prove that. But New Jersey, too much too soon, Riccio.
Let's go.
Too much too soon.
What are you talking about? Too much too soon. They went and got Dougie Hamilton.
Doesn't mean you're going to win immediately.
They trade for Adam Graves, Jack Hughes. No,
yeah,
Nico
Jack Hughes he's got to rise up and actually play to that level. It's not a certainty on that roster. So New Jersey,
they don't call it a bold prediction for nothing, Randy. Come on.
No, I don't got New Jersey in mind. I don't think they make the playoffs. I've got Philadelphia as the third team. There's a lot of question marks with this team, but Ryan Ellis, they upgraded there. I expect a bounce back from Carter Hart, and all the disrespect that's been lobbed their way, they still have skill in that top six. Do not sleep on the Philadelphia Flyers. They just need some consistent goaltending, and they've got a steady defenseman back there in Ryan Ellis as well. That's going to just help the situation there. It's going to make Alain Vigneault's life a little bit easier. Don't sleep on Philly.
I'm very much sleeping on Philly. I have them as a disappointment this year. I know they're looking to get back into the playoffs. They made all the moves, trading for Ryan Ellis, Rasmus Ristolainen. I mean, that was quite the fee that Chuck Fletcher paid for Ristolainen, who didn't have the best of results in Buffalo through many years and has long been looked at as a guy who is overrated. Still got the Buffalo Sabres the 13th overall pick in the draft. I just don't see it. There's too many ifs with Philadelphia for me. Carter Hart's got to be better this year. I can see that happening, but Claude Giroux's still got to be good, even at his advanced age. James Van Riemsdyk going to repeat what he did last year. I can't see how all of the things that they need to go right to get back into the playoff picture do go right.
Yeah, but they've also got young pieces that are coming up and that are taking over for that. Sean Couturier is one of the best defensive centermen. He's the Selke, perennial candidate, as we know. And I'm going to drop a little hint here for my breakout player. We'll talk about this player in a little bit, but this is Joel Farabee's team going forward. He's going to take another step this year. Do not sleep on Philly.
Who are you going to be disappointed in out of the Metro?
Okay, my fans in Pittsburgh aren't going to like this, but it's the Pittsburgh Penguins, guys. I expect a drop off from this team just based on the fact that their top two stars are going to be injured to start off the year. You got Gino, you got Sidney Crosby dealing with injuries and surgery. And beyond that, they've got questions in goal as well. Tristan Jarry, can he bounce back? He was atrocious last year, late in the season when they needed him. And the window to win is right now for this team, but they just got a lot of bad news and a lot of question marks heading into this year. I know it's Sid, I know it's Gino, but it feels like the beginning of this year, that's a lot to deal with right off the bat. Pittsburgh is the team that is probably going to disappoint for me this year.
Look, I believe in Mike Sullivan as a coach. He's pulled some Houdini kind of tricks in the last couple of years with all the injuries that Pittsburgh has navigated. But the reason I didn't put him as a disappointment is because I just don't see how they're going to make it out of this division. I mean, it's ultra competitive. As we've talked about, New Jersey's going to be better. For me, they're going to be a playoff team. The New York Rangers want to be a playoff team. We talked about Philly. Just going to be too hard for the Pittsburgh Penguins this year. Now, for my breakout player, I think it's pretty obvious. I'm looking at Jack Hughes, first overall pick from a couple of years ago. Incredible talent. You look at all of the underlying metrics, and they suggest that Jack Hughes is ready to really start putting up some offensive numbers. He was, undersized, and really it was a tough ask for him to go straight from the national team development program into the NHL and have success. He was the first player like that. So I think it's normal to see kind of a gradual progression from this player. He's ready to take that next step. I expect a big year out of Jack Hughes.
He's also got more support in New Jersey as well, and that's important for a young player heading into your first year, your first couple of moments in the league. Now, all of a sudden, you've got some depth there. You've got some help in Dougie Hamilton. You got some leadership as well. Okay, the breakout player for me, I think he had his breakout last year, but I'm expecting another elite level breakout this year from Joel Farabee. 20 goals is unbelievable last year, 38 points. But guys, he played mostly 5-on-5 last year, didn't get much power play time. I think he takes another leap to become a player that is going to be a force to be reckoned with in this division and in that conference. So when we talk about shifting from the older players and Giroux and potentially James Van Riemsdyk on that team, I think Farabee's the guy to watch. He obviously got paid this summer as well. Now he's going to deliver. And a shout out as well to Cole Sillinger of the Columbus Blue Jackets. He may be playing first line center. Watch out for this kid. He's very young, and if he gets an opportunity to start the year, keep an eye on Cole Sillinger as well.
Who are your breakout players and your playoff teams coming out of the Metro? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you in the next preview.